Okay. I told you that if I had anything, I would come back, but I didn't want to make a whole bunch of videos. But listen, this has to be spoken about. Okay. Spiritualism, all of your isms, ologies, your theologies, all of your religions, all of the belief systems out there that are written down are not about us. They've never been about the individual. So we need to start off by stating facts. Our beliefs in who we are as individual as our thumbprint. Yes, many people out there will share truths with other people, but our fingerprint is as individual as our truths and our beliefs. Therefore, we may share with some people, but we will not share all our truths with another person. Every individual is a soul being. First off, when you took your first breath, when that baby inhales its first breath, that is when the soul enters the body. Breath is the definition of life. No breath, no life. Breath, life. That's it. Why there's all these other debates about it, it's all for manipulation. Period. Okay? Spiritualism, bullshit. Paganism, bullshit. Gods, bullshit. Okay? I'm just going to straight up there and say it. Yes, there is 17 dimensions. Yes, there are all these other dimensional realms. Yes, there is the astral realm. Yes, there is all this. But here's the freaking fact that nobody's talking about or thinking about, and that is, that's your higher self's business, not this avatar. I've made it my business to bring all this out here and bring the truth to the world so the plutocrats can die. Because this is how we end plutocracy. This is going to take hundreds of years to end. Okay? Because it's been going on for 4,200 years-ish. Okay? So we're talking about 2194 BCE. I want to say somewhere in, or 174 BCE. Anyways, 2200 BCE, we had the jump from the elites that came back and created all these religions. Hinduism, Buddhism. I'm sorry. Yes, by the way, all stories are true. Horror stories, all stories, every story. Nobody comes up with things. We don't have that ability. The deal is these stories are true for other realms, other dimensions, other lives. But they're not about this planet, this matter, and now. Because what does matter now is that you understand that you're an avatar, okay? And you have a higher self that is being held accountable for all your free will decisions. And the further you are from love, the worse it is for him and the worse it will be for you. Period. I've explained numerous times how billionaires and millionaires stay in the love space so they never harm their higher self. But we're not into that today. Today, we're going to bust the cult of spiritualism. We're going to bust all cults, and we're just no more control. You have to do right by you. You have to forgive yourself, love yourself, and do right by you. Further away from love you are, the worse you're doing you. Closer you are to unconditional love, the more right you do by you. That's just a fact. That's just how it works. The cult of money. So when people speak of Jesus and God, they're speaking of money. Money bought them that savior title. You had to pay a preacher or a priest or whatever. You had to give them 10%. You had to give them money to save your soul. How is that right? Make that make sense. No, fuck no. I tried not to cuss, but that one makes me mad. No, you don't need water. You don't need somebody to come out there and save you. The closer you are to unconditional love, the better you're doing your higher self, and you're staying in the angelic realm and you're being an angel. Because the truth is, all human beings had to be angels to incarnate on this planet. Mother Earth will not allow you to incarnate until you prove yourself in all the other, in the continuum. Facts. Facts. But I will tell you this. If you're out there being inhumane, which means if you're okay, I don't believe in racism. There's no such thing as racism because there's no such thing as multiple races. There is one race, the human race. If you have a problem with anybody within the human race, you're just inhumane. And that's the furthest away from love that you can be. When you die like this, you go to the belly of Anubis, because if you are that dense, you cannot exist in the continuum. And then at that point, if another soul being has worked its way up in the continuum, they can take your place and they could be incarnating, and it'll take you until somebody else messes up before you can incarnate. Being reformatted is okay. So yeah, we're not gonna get into that either. So religion, spiritualism, I want to say the GIONs, the ISMs, and the ologies. I hate everything about ologies. I feel like anybody that holds an geology, you've gone too far. You're not seeing the big picture. All you can see is the tree. You're not seeing the forest. I don't want to talk to you. Ologies, your beliefs are too what? You just can't see anything else. All right. Wake up and smell the facts. Hinduism. Yeah, I love y'all stories because y'all stories are way closer, but y'all are off by 137.25. So I've got the math. Yeah, y'all are off. Your timing is in a time period that's not on this matter dimension. They're helpful though. I will say Hindus have got to be closer to the love and being kind to everybody and doing everybody right. Yet, if India is a Hindu country and they have slums, that doesn't make any sense. That's not Hindu. Again, that's plutocracy. Every country, everywhere, even the monarchy is a plutocracy. It's for the wealthy, about the wealthy, and only the wealthy allows certain wealthy in. And it's gross, and it needs to end. How do you end it? Going off-grid, permaculture, doing things within your community, not forcing your children to go out there and pay rent and make money, figuring out how as a family you can make money and function. Figure out how you help each other out. Instead of going to IKEA, go find somebody who does woodwork. Dudes, wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the plutocracy. That's just how it is. This is not a democracy. It was never a democracy. America was not founded on democracy. Anybody who was in Jamestown will tell you that they had puritanical rule. That wasn't religious freedom. Why was there puritanical rule? Because they have to control the masses. The religion and all of the religions are to control you, to control people and keep them in line, tell you how to vote, how to act, what to do, how to eat, what to wear. I'm sorry. Those that are covering their heads and wearing the burqas, that's wrong. The plutocracy is telling you what to do so these wealthy sheiks can do whatever they want. Yeah. And of course they're going to cover their heads too, because if they don't follow it too, then they'd be looked as huge hypocrites. But it's all about plutocracy. The wealthy has never cared about the poor. They have walked all over us, used us as slaves, just treated us like dirt. Be done. Stop watching the Kardashians. Stop bowing down before the God. God is money in their sense. Because reality is there is 15 beings that have a line from the all, the Divan Shigarita, the Divan Shiga, the Divan Sharita, Divine Pymander, Lord Ardal, Lord Sambeta, Lord Urtal, Lord Goyana, Lord Untanas, Lord Cortus, Lord Elyon, Lord Omniel, Lord Chito, and King Thoth of Earth. Okay, that's the actual line that goes through our body. But if you go onto Atlantean Love the Truth Vibes, you'll see that from 1 to 49, every odd number, all these beings are working within you within multiple dimensions to create this matter. So they matter. Well, we're saying matter a lot. Every human signed a contract. You were an angel, you signed a contract, you said you were going to do blah, 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 and then you stepped out here and lost your way. That was the forgetting. This is the test. So if you want to pass the test, you get closer to unconditional love and love everybody all the time. This is where I use the word humanism. I don't know what they define humanism is, but humanism needs to be the law where every human has the right to clean water, to a bathroom, to a shower, to a roof over their head, and the ability to grow food. That should just be a right. Because when we were born way back when, that was our right. We're not supposed to kill animals. We're supposed to protect the animals. The animals would protect us. But since we're out there killing them, then they have no choice but to fight back. We all need to realize that we have all signed contracts. We are all in this together, and we need to pull together, and we need to work against the plutocrats. And the only way to work against the plutocrats, number one, stop being a lemming. Sorry, but paganism, you're still being a lemming. Spiritualism, if you have to give money to somebody, follow somebody, or buy a book to learn about it, you're being manipulated and controlled. Anything from the divine is free. Atlantean love, everything is free. I will never monetize. It's not, no. Money, no. Money is part of the control factor. They created it. They make you want it. And they make you bow down before it. Then they make you give it over to them to make you feel better. That's what they do. Knowing that you were an angel to be born. You're an angel incarnated on this planet to help Mother Earth and to help other beings in their path, because not only do you have your lessons, but you're also a part of other people's lessons. So when you're out there and somebody needs to be held accountable, you need to hold them accountable. You need to pay attention to the 7 Hermetic principles. The only books I could ever tell anybody is anything Hermes Trismegistus wrote is in line. And the reason why every single religion, all the belief systems tell you to not look up the occult is because the occult blows up their plutocracy. I hate to say this, but I go around all the time in all my places these days, and I'm telling people, wake up and smell the plutocracy. Permaculture, growing our own food, and getting off of their monetary system is the only way out of plutocracy. But do know this, there will never be 100% one direction. We always have free will on this planet. And in order to have free will, plutocracy has to exist. This is our exam. I am sitting here giving you cheat codes to this planet. I am not shitting you. Atlanteanlove.com is nothing more than a freaking hacks to the plutocracy. If you want to kill plutocracy, first you have to figure a way how to live without their monetary system, which means growing your own food, not being dependent on their stuff and their things, knowing that the health system is so rotten because, oh my God, and they even made Asclepius a cult. Asclepius is not a cult. See, Asclepius's ways way back when, where he said a medicine person, a person could not heal somebody without going to their homes, without knowing their friends, without knowing their lives, without knowing what they consume. If a doctor does not break bed with you, a doctor technically cannot be a doctor to you. That's Asclepius. Okay, this is his. It's the hypocrisy. He's the one that was like, no, we tell them. No. Your health is a combination of you knowing your body and a doctor knowing medicine, knowing plants. And you and them getting together and him giving you the plants to absolve the issues that you're having with your body. That's what medicine's about. It's not about cutting you up and making money and telling you that you're not pretty, therefore you need injections. Stop. Stop buying your child anything to put on their face. I've gone my entire life without wearing makeup. And when my mom died and my dad remarried, my stepmother forced it upon me. At school, my friends forced it upon me. On the bus, they put it on my face. At school, they put it on my face. Everybody was upset because I didn't have makeup on when I was 16 because my mom didn't want it till I was an adult. And then when I got to be an adult, why would I spend my money on that when eating was more important? I'm poor. Oh, yeah, poor people don't get to spend all that money on that stuff. So it's kind of disgusting for them to constantly subliminally tell you that you need their products to be a good person. No, you don't need anything. You don't need a book. You don't need a crystal. You don't need a preacher. You don't need a church. You need to be kind to people and you need to love people. And when people aren't kind to you, okay, forgive them, walk away. If they continue to not be kind, don't go back around them. If they've changed, give them a shot. But be discernment. Love yourself, forgive yourself, and always do right by you. This is what they don't want you to know, is that it is free to be free. You do not, there is no savior. Nobody's coming here to fix shit for you guys. That's the worst lie of it all. This apocalypse and savior, yeah, it's manipulation. Manipulation, fear tactics, this is the way they get you. If you want to combat plutocracy, look up permaculture. Look up how you grow food, but enough food for you and the animals. If the deer are eating all your food, grow more food. We live in harmony with Earth. We love her. We don't tear up her soil and rip the plants back out and put them back. No. We grow what's local. And if we can't grow it indoors, take it, or outdoors, take it inside. Yeah, got hydroponics and we got ways to air condition things. We've got ways and means. But we have to pull together. Just think if a neighborhood pulled together, you had 5 houses pulled together, took down your fences in the backyard and built a greenhouse back there, and everybody took turns working it and everybody worked together to create this food, it would bring real oh, it's just the way it was. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that is the way it was. That's the way we were. Even back in Atlantis, the 1 billion people that lived on the land on the island, or the 100,000 that lived on the island versus the 900 million that lived within the okay. In Atlantis, all beings that walked down the spiral couldn't live with the gravity and the pressure. So we had built these huge containers that go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. And each layer had different pressurizations for people to exist in. That's how that works. And then when time came, they went to inner Earth. No, they didn't die. Few did through all the falling off the ships. Things happened. They were accidents. Not a lot. A billion stayed on the planet and 8 billion went in. And we've been cycling incarnation because they have to die in inner Earth to be incarnated here. And people who will remember inner Earth will remember that in their incarnation here and talk about it. But once upon a time, they were able to come to surface, a certain few beings, but because of the volatilization and because the whole of the consciousness of the crust life is too cruel, and the density's not there yet of the people. Because if they were to, the ones that could come up to crust, if they came to crust, it would kill too many people. Because of fear. You can't kill. And when I mean you can't kill, I mean you can't kill animals and you can't eat animals and you can't kill. Here's the problem. We all forget we're intelligent beings. We are the most intelligent beings on this planet. There are no other animals that equal our intelligence. That's why we were never meant to kill. We were meant to protect. Angels, incarnation, we loved everything on the planet. Okay? And because we did, until the whole planet is stopped eating meat, and understands the validity in the negativity of the eating of the meat and how bad it is for us and our souls, only then will they be able to come up. And that's what I can give. I thought that was very cryptic of them, but they do get cryptic. But I'm not channeling. I telepathically speak with my crew, and I have crew that are in Halls of a Mentee, and I have crew that are in Inner Earth because of who I am. But that has no bearing on what my message is. My message is about love. It's about saying that on Truth Vibes at AtlanteanLove.com, Truth Vibes, everything's there to explain to you how many beings are really involved in this matter, in this incarnation, and how everything you do affects everybody and everything because it has everything to do with your higher self. But know that plutocracy needs to exist, but also know permaculture exists, living off grid exists. The question is, how long do you want to stay a slave to the plutocrats? How long are you going to stay being a lemming to the plutocrat? When do you realize don't buy new, go thrift, don't buy a new car, buy used, try to keep stuff local? I mean, the wealthy want new stuff all the time. Let us get their trickle down. That's fine. I've never had a problem with that. We need to build communities where we don't allow our electronics going to. I save all my electronics. All that stuff can be taken apart by a kid in the future who can figure out how to put another thing together. Don't throw away your electronics. We can recycle everything. Seriously. This is what permaculture is about. We need to start pulling together. Find the kid in the neighborhood that likes taking things apart and tell him, hey, my toaster broke. Do you want this? And there are people out there that know how to get the gold out of computers. Let them in copper. Let them get the materials back out. Recycle. Don't throw it away. Don't put it in the garbage. Be smart. We are here for the planet. We need to be here for the planet. And she needs us now more than ever because the wealthy don't care. No. But if you pay attention, they already know that they're going to need to go indoors. They already know that they've got their bunkers, they've got their mega projects because they need to go stay in their space. When time comes, they're not going to be able to fit with us, and they know it. But until you stop giving them your money, and I mean, you got to go and chase down BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard and find out where they're all located and what companies they have their claws into and avoid them like the plague. Don't go on protests. They love watching you go out there and suffer for them. And now they've got a president who will beat you up during the protests too. Don't fall for the game. Change the rules. Don't listen to the lies. Don't pay attention to. Yes, I get it. What they're doing is bad. I get it. Bleeding heart. I get it. I'm an empath. But at the same time, if you don't go and center yourself back to you and start building your world a better world, the people around you, and be kinder to your family, to your kids, and turn off their noise and their fear inducing, lemming creating programming, please stop watching their programming. Don't fall for Trump's crap. The only way is to not react. I'm sorry. I got beat up my entire life by my siblings because I didn't react. I finally, at like 7, 8, I finally started screaming just because one wouldn't stop. But you find out he's schizophrenic and he can't, so he's dealt with another way. But if you don't react and you get smart, pay attention to where your money's going, try to stay away from monopolies, do your best to try to get off the grid, do what you can to get as much self-sustaining as possible. That's the goal. And pulling together with the neighborhood, that's going to be the actual kryptonite to plutocracy, is when neighbors start talking again. Because all this programming, all this left stuff, and all this right stuff, and all this racist stuff, and all this she killed him. Just stop. That's all that is. That is noise to drag you down, because right now all our vibrations are lifting up. We really are. We really are. My dog has now said it is time for me to be done. So since they want me to take them out, I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And this was my daily dose of wake up and smell the plutocracy.